Welcome back to the Philanthropy Mastermind series, brought to you by the people at DonorSearch, of course. We've done, I think, now 475 programs in this series, going back to 2016. And it's all about the kinds of needs and interests that we hear from you. So if you have things that you'd like to see and hear in the future, I hope that you will let me know. You can reach me through LinkedIn or jay@donorsearch.net or wherever you want to on the internet. You can find me pretty easily. And of course, throughout this last couple of days, we've been here at AFP ICON, where we've had the opportunity to invite a few of the award winners and others in the sector to talk with us. A particularly exciting opportunity is right today, right now, with Masataka Uo, who is the founder and head of the Japanese Fundraising Association, which has been doing phenomenal work. One of the fastest growing, most impactful organizations of fundraisers in the world. So it's really exciting to have a chance to talk with you about that work.
Thank you very much, Jai. Thank you very much for inviting me. Sorry about my dry throat. Last night I had a party and joined Jasper, and I shouted too much, and I'm now in dry throat. So sorry about it.
It's a natural hazard of New Orleans.
Yes.
Is this your first time in New Orleans?
No, second time. Last time when I came here was 5 years ago for AFP ICON.
Okay. All right. So you've been going to these things for a while.
Yep.
So what? First of all, let's talk a little bit about the association. When was that founded? It's been a while now.
Yeah, our foundation, Japan Fundraising Association, was founded in 2009. And at the opening ceremony, we invited Paulette Maihara, the president and CEO of AFP at the time. And my inspiration to make a Japan Fundraising Association coming from AFP ICON. In 2002, when I met graduate students in the United States, I firstly joined AFP ICON by myself.
Yes.
I was the only participant from Japan. I was really inspired this conference. Then I started to become confident that I need to have the same one in Japan.
And it has really grown. I mean, you had a few, I think already when you started, you had something like 200 or 300 people.
Yep.
But now you have well over 1,000 or 1,500. How large is it today?
So in 2010, we organized the first fundraising conference in Japan. It had roughly 400 delegates at the time, which was really nice.
Sure.
Given the situation where we are still very early stage, but now we have roughly 1,600 delegates for in-person conference before COVID-19. And so we are very happy to see the growth. And always AFP and the United States community of fundraisers help us to organize this conference, and nice speakers coming to our conference from the United States. Thank you so much.
Well, it's always good to have that chance to go and work with people in other countries.
Yep.
Resource Alliance has done that.
Yep.
CASE has done that. AFP has done that. And but it's not possible unless you have a strong community of fundraisers and maybe more importantly, non-profits or not-for-profit organizations within a country. So that's been a real growth in Japan over the last 40, 50 years. And there's been major legislation along the way to make that possible. So today, if you have 1,600 members, that also means you must have a much more robust not-for-profit economy. Many organizations raising money. What is that like today to work in the not-for-profit sector as a whole in Japan?
So our non-profit sector is significantly growing over the last 10 years. But interesting is that talking about giving, we have big natural disasters sometimes. For example, in 2011, we had a tsunami and 25,000 people were killed in a day. But flip side of it, roughly 80% of Japanese people gave to the victims of disasters. So whenever we have big disasters, philanthropic spirits are coming up in the society, then gradually the people who are giving to the charities increasing. And the fundraisers as a pipeline of philanthropy doing very good work in our society. And now we have 2,500 individual and organization members in our association. And we see the tremendous growth of the fundraising momentum in the society.
And then there's also probably a growth of giving, because it wasn't always easy to give in Japan. People were always generous. I mean, you can go. This is the thing I always point to. If you haven't been to Japan, or if you haven't traveled outside the United States, there's this perception that somehow we're different and we give more. But this is absolutely untrue. If you go to the temples in Japan, you see, of course, recognition for donors, that it's been going on for hundreds of years, longer than the United States has been in existence. But that doesn't mean it's easy. So is the environment for giving easier? Is the donor pool of donors, is that growing too?
Yeah. So the interesting thing, yes, growing. And especially two unique features right now. As you may know, that Japan is suffering from aging society, quite a rapid aging society. But flip side of it, bequest and legacy giving is booming and growing significantly over the last 5 years. So most of the non-profit organizations could gain more and more bequest and legacy giving, which is a great phenomenon right now. And second thing is high net worth. And historically speaking, not so many high net worths in Japan donated.
Right.
But after COVID-19, many high net worths started to realize how can pay back to the community. And 2 years ago, our fundraising association and the banking sector working together to set up a one-stop platform for high net worth philanthropists to give. And interestingly, almost every week, twice a week, 3 times a week, we got a new call from high net worth to give back community.
Really?
So some of them are creating a foundation, new foundation, innovative foundation. Some of them create donor advice fund. But anyway, it's a good change.
That's a huge change, because there's this perception, and maybe historically it was true, of being very flat sort of society, that there wasn't a great deal of wealth inequality. Mm-hmm. And sometimes wealth inequality has terrible effects, but it also means that some people have a lot of money and they can give it away. So is some of that changing as well?
Yes, absolutely. Historically speaking, we love donation box, right?
Right.
On the streets, the donation book, there are some people throw coins.
Right.
So this kind of giving culture are very, very normal.
Right.
And in temple, every time we go to the temple, there is a donation box and everybody places some coins. This kind of behavior are very normal and spread in our society, but nowadays, impactful donation. Right. The donors are looking at impact, and so the high net worth and the bequest is also creating a great impact in society. Right?
I know that a number of years ago, that the association released something like Giving USA in Japan, and I don't know if that's something that you do regularly or if that's. So have you also? Do you have a sense about how big the scope is, the totality of giving, like how much money is given?
So talking about individual givings,
yes.
In 2010, it was roughly $5 billion a year, and it's not a big amount enough. But now, 12 billion.
That's a big growth.
That's so in 10 years, gradually increasing. Now 12 billion a year. Become donation, individual donation.
But you also have a large corporate giving sector. There's the 2% clubs and all that. And here, I think the average is maybe 0.5% for the companies who give. So a lot of giving there. Plus, there's been organized giving historically. Is that still true? Like the Japan Business Association, Is that still?
Yeah, interesting is that it's maybe a slightly different situation from the case of the United States. The alliance-based giving, is very common in emerging markets. Now, it's not only in Japan, maybe other Asian countries, especially emergency response activities. So, for example, in Japan, there is a Japan platform for disaster response, together with business federation, NGOs, the government working together to set up this kind of platform. And 40 NGOs joined that platform. And amazingly, over the last 20 years, they raised more than $600 million from various people for responding to the disasters.
Right.
So given the situation where many Japanese international NGO and disaster response NGO have limited the capability of doing fundraising by themselves, if we create a platform and working together to appeal to the society, it's really working well.
So Japan's situation is always unique, right, in every way. But throughout Asia, the situation is different in every single country. There are different historical, legal, political, economic factors. But I know that you are working to try and make it possible for there to be a greater growth of the fundraising community, for more discussions between and among people. Can you talk about what you're trying to do to bring people together throughout the region and the world?
So almost 10 years ago, we established our own fundraising association. This is we have membership, and this is kind of hub of ecosystem of promoting giving and fundraising. Everybody working together, a set of projects together. It's kind of platform for incubating new challenges in our society. And key thing is that, for example, in Korea, we have a Korean Fundraising Association, China Fundraising Association. But we don't have this kind of association ecosystem, formal ecosystem in Indonesia, Malaysia, and other countries. Right. So what I'm looking at is that together with AFP and Resource Alliance, etc., we would like to take leadership to support creating ecosystem domestically in local context, like the Indonesian fundraisers network and Malaysian fundraising network. Those kind of things, we'd like to help them to create these kind of things, and we would like to share experiences and technical support. And in the near future, we would like to have Asia Pacific fundraising gathering to share the best practices of ecosystem building. So this is what I'm thinking right now, and hopefully, in the next front conference, I would like to bring 10 representatives from 10 countries from Asia Pacific, and ecosystem leaders will be invited to here to discuss what's happening in Asia Pacific.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that's one more reason to come to the conference in Toronto, which is next year. So start making your plans now. And okay, I want to go back into history a little bit. You started by saying you were a graduate student and you first attended ICON. You're the only guy from Japan at the time who was there. Now you're coming now. How many years has this been, first of all, from that time to today?
20 years.
Okay. So over the 20 years, what's the biggest change you see? What's the biggest surprise?
AFP?
Yes.
Wow. I think, firstly, we are now in the booth area, corporate booth area. DonorSearch here. And the advancement of technology and advancement of supporting system to the non-profit sector is amazing. It's growing so much, and it's always very exciting. And also, we see the growth of the community of fundraisers. It's always this gathering is inspirational and really warm. And those things are tremendously growing, the last 20 years. So we are so much excited. And international partnership also. We met Brazilian Association and other network ecosystem builders in respective countries. So the fundraising movement is now really expanding to the globe. And we are working together with the AFP and the Resource Alliance, etc.
So it sounds like instead of the way people used to think about this, there's money over here, so let's go to another country for wherever we thought there was money. Now we're growing the base of professionalism, technology, and interest in building our own sectors so that we can collaborate. So we're not just running in for dollars or yen.
Yeah.
We're trying to help one another build for our own communities.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And the key thing is that many people nowadays argue about the future of capitalism, right? Capitalism needs to be, improved a little bit, right, toward the future. And empathic giving, empathic cash flow are very important factor for creating the future of capitalism. And so the fundraiser is not just for philanthropy, but fundraisers can contribute to create the future of the capitalism. So this is what we are looking at now. And those kind of passion could be emerged in various countries right now, including Japan. So nowadays, the fundraising is not just a matter of getting money. Instead, fundraising is a matter of creating a new capitalism and new society in the world.
The Philanthropy Masterminds podcast is underwritten by DonorSearch, the world leader in donor intelligence solutions. Our producer is Jack Frost. Our theme music is Be My Remedy, composed and performed by House of Say. You can subscribe to the Philanthropy Masterminds podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can find blogs, webcasts, and CFRE accredited webinars with our featured masterminds at DonorSearch.net or check the show notes and descriptions.